welcome to the Nightcap with TLJ. Real talk, real people, about real life all the time. Tonight is Girl Talk. I have my beautiful guest here, Miss Stephanie Torrance.
Hello.
And Miss Yamina. She only needs one name because she is just powerful.
Thank you.
Two blessed women. I'm glad you guys came. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having
I
me.
appreciate you guys coming, but we're going to jump right into this. So, I have a couple of questions that I received from my social media to ask the ladies. So let me get to it. All right, so we're going to ask, can a woman's independence be a turnoff or scare a man away?
I would say absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, because a lot of men want to feel like they're either in control or they're able to provide in some way, even if they're not able to provide on that level or the caliber in which that woman wants. But oftentimes it's kind of like a rejection.
Yeah.
You know, or she seems unaccessible to the man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I agree. Unaccessible is a great word to use. I've heard that before. I had an issue with independence, being that independent woman for a very long time. And I found that going back talking to people, guys that wanted to quote unquote date me then, they thought I was too independent. I didn't need them. So I think it can.
I was raised to be independent.
Yeah, and that's what,
I mean, so if I'm raised to be, even though both of my parents were in the household,
you were
married
raised
42 years, I was raised to be an independent woman. No need to depend on a man.
Right.
So when you say you had a problem with independence,
It's because we were
it's just how we were raised.
Right.
Right. And
Right.
that can be a turnoff for some men because they're like, hey, you
Right.
know.
I think our problem as women is that we take our independence and instead of using it in that power in a good way, we sometimes use it in the bad way. You know what I'm saying? Good witch, bad witch, because we tend to make independence mean that you're not the man that you should be.
And I really think I think it may be the woman and that man. Because
Yeah.
not all relationships are like that.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, 'cause
that's true. Because
mean,
some men love truly independent women, and I agree. But I think that our independence, we have to separate that from allowing ourselves to not let the man still be the man. Just because I can take care of my business doesn't mean that I cut you short when you're trying to take care of some business for me.
And I had to learn
we
that
say
as well.
yeah, absolutely,
Right.
absolutely. We have to, we say we want this type of man to do all these things, but when he comes in to do those things, we're so independent. Oh, you don't have to worry about that. I got that. But he's not worried about it. He's doing his job. So sometimes we need to let them do their job, even as
One of the
independent.
things that I found that with independence, we use it as a coping mechanism, and that's where the de-edification of the man comes in.
Yes.
So whether we've been hurt in the past or whatever has happened, then we say, well, I can do it myself, when we are making this individual pay for things that other people have done. And so our independence is really a coping mechanism.
Right.
And then he becomes de-edified and not feeling good, when really we need to, as women, learn how to, number one, heal.
Yes.
And number two,
that's the key.
that the independence is really empowering on so many levels.
Yes.
And you can use your independence to empower and re-edify your partner. Your man.
Absolutely. I agree. I think that whole healing part is a big problem in it. No matter what relationship you are, even male or female, no matter if you're the man or the woman, if you don't heal properly and you go into the next relationship, you're going to mess it up because you're still messed up. You still have that pain and it's blaring.
That baggage.
Absolutely, baggage is a big problem. We carry baggage from relationship to relationship, and not just man and woman relationship. Family relationships, jobs. You have a bad experience at work. Now you mad at everybody.
Exactly.
The whole job. The hell with it. You know what I'm saying? And it does. It does. And I think as women we internalize so much.
It's true. Very true.
So much. All right. So we're gonna jump into the next question. What does a man think if a woman stays in a relationship after he cheats and she's aware of it? Do you think that, and not just a man, in any relationship? Let's make it broader. Whether it be the man, the woman, no matter what relationship you're in. If you allow, or if you accept or take them back a number of times after cheating, what do you think they think of you?
That's a good question because I can't say what does he think of me. I mean, is it an acceptance or okay? there was a problem. You stepped out. We're gonna work through this.
Well,
Is it?
The question means the question implies it was a number of times.
Oh, if it's a number of times, it wouldn't have got that far. I might let you do one. It wouldn't have got that far. One.
I hear you.
Okay. We'll work through it.
Right.
After that, no. And it's so funny. I was watching something on Facebook not too long ago. The gospel singer, it's Mary.
Yes.
And she was expressing how many times do I have to forgive you? And she was just expressing her anger, time and time again. How do you really expect me? And I'm supposed to be the woman of God, and I'm supposed to forgive, but how many times does one supposed to forgive?
Now, you know what? That's true, but do we get forgiveness confused with, not confused with, forgiveness doesn't necessarily mean we have to
Accept it.
Can still be with that person. You can forgive somebody for what they've done to you, but that doesn't mean that you still have to be
remain
with
in
that
relationship.
person. Right. I
Mm-hmm.
forgive you, but I'm good on you.
I'm moving on.
Right.
Yep.
So I think once you forgive and you continuously stay, then that has nothing to do with the forgiveness. That has something to do with you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think number one, is great that your viewers are, opening up and wanting to be more transparent and ask these questions because they know that how you can flush it out.
Right.
But I think that when you're welcome. I think that what's beautiful about this, when you forgive someone and they continue this behavior, you become an enabler.
Yes.
And that's what they become comfortable with you doing that, and then that becomes the normalcy.
Yeah, exactly.
And so you begin to function in a state of dysfunction that will really affect your entire life.
Absolutely.
And
I'm
so
glad you said that.
Yeah.
Because I was raised in that type of household.
Okay.
Yeah.
My mother was an enabler.
Yeah.
Not that my father cheated, but he had an addiction problem.
Right.
And she continued. And
It's the same. I was just going to relate it back to that.
Thing, enabler. So I can say in some of my relationships, I have a lot of men to do certain things and accept them. I forgive them, but I stay because that's what I saw in my household.
Right.
And then it got to a point I said,
generational.
hey, that's not the type of relationship. When I start to look at and evaluate my parents' relationship, that's not the type of relationship that I want.
And that's the key.
And so, when you say the neighbor, I was like, yeah, you're right. We become enablers, and some of us are raised in that type of situation.
Well, the fact that you saw that and you stop it, that's where you break the cycles.
Yes, absolutely.
We all see a number of things in relationships when we were younger, whether it be our parents or whether it be other people that we, that were predominantly in our lives. We see those things and we think that's the way it's supposed to be. But at what point in our lives do we decide that right is right, wrong is wrong, and that's not what I want, and to make that change?
And I think too, when you really, really think about that, sometimes the men want us to say no. And they want us to hold them accountable. Yeah. And because oftentimes that helps them to become a better man. And earlier we were talking about edifying and building them up to say, I love you, but you hurt me. I need you to be accountable. Don't do it again. We need to separate. I need to get out of this dysfunction until you become the man you need to be and be responsible.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right. So and that's taking our own responsibility as well.
Absolutely.
Because we have to be responsible about what relationships, what things we sit in. I was listening to Kelly Rowland's song, Dirty Laundry. Have you ever listened to that?
Yes.
Have you? Amazing song.
Absolutely.
She don't get enough props for that song. That song is amazing because it's real. You know what I'm saying? It's real life. She digs deep and she keeps it real. And if we all did that, let's do this dirty laundry and then be done with it and move forward.
Let's put our cards on the table.
Absolutely. All right, so we'll be right back after this.